Have you ever tried to replace a fragment in your app only to run into frustrating errors? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to dynamically replace a child fragment from within itself. I completely understand how annoying it can be when you think you have everything set up correctly, only to be met with an error message. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar challenges. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user asked, "How can I replace a child fragment from within itself using a button?" They provided a code snippet and described their setup with a parent fragment containing a child fragment. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what seems to be the issue here? The user is trying to replace a child fragment using the Fragment Manager, but they encounter an error stating that no view can be found for the specified ID. This is a common pitfall when dealing with nested fragments. And stick around. I have a crucial tip at the end that will help you avoid this issue in the future. To begin resolving the user's issue, we need to ensure that the child fragment is correctly replacing itself within the parent fragment's container. The first step is to check that the container ID is correctly referenced in the child fragment. Next, the user should modify the way the child fragment accesses the Fragment Manager. Instead of using Get Child Fragment Manager, they should use the parent fragment's Fragment Manager to replace the child fragment. Now, let's update the button's On-Click Listener in the child fragment. The user needs to ensure that the transaction is committed correctly after replacing the fragment. Finally, the user should test the implementation to ensure that the child fragment is replaced without any errors. They can do this by running the application and clicking the button in the child fragment. Fun fact, did you know that fragments were introduced in Android to help manage complex UIs? They allow for more modular and reusable components, making your life as a developer much easier. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying the code in both the parent and child fragments. In the child fragment, instead of using Get Child Fragment Manager, you should use Get Fragment Manager to replace the child fragment. This change allows the fragment replacement to work correctly without throwing an error. The user notes that while they haven't tested the code, the approach is correct for implementing the fragment replacement. That's it for that response. Let's explore another one. This user suggests a different approach. Instead of trying to replace the child fragment directly, you should create a callback from the child fragment to the parent fragment. When the button in the child fragment is clicked, it calls this callback, allowing the parent fragment to handle the replacement of the child fragment with the desired fragment. Here's the tip I promised. Always use Get Child Fragment Manager when dealing with nested fragments. This small change can save you a lot of headaches down the road. And there you have it. You should now be able to replace your child fragment without any issues. Remember, using the right fragment manager is key. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.